If you're trying to find motivated sellers for wholesale real estate right now, you're probably making this way harder than it needs to be. Most investors think they need expensive software, skip tracing, cold callers, and direct mail. But what if I told you you don't need any of that? I'm about to show you how to find real motivated sellers in under 60 seconds, completely for free. There's no setup, no cold outreach, and no experience required. And the crazy part is, you've probably used this tool before, just not like this. And I almost didn't want to share this because I use this all the time to find deals, but honestly, there's too many people getting stuck learning and never actually doing a deal. So I'd rather just show you how to do this. Here's what usually happens. You spend weeks building lists, scraping data, and trying to figure out cold calling or direct mail, and you never actually make a legitimate offer. But real estate wholesaling isn't a lead generating business, it's an offer making business. And as I always like to remind my students, if you're not making any offers, you're not making any deals. And if you're not making any deals, you're not making any money. So in the next couple minutes, I'm gonna show you how to instantly find motivated sellers and how to spot real opportunities in your market. And most importantly, how to start making offers today. And once you see this, you're gonna wonder why no one told you to do this sooner. Let me show you exactly what I mean. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and pull up Redfin right here. This is one of my favorite sites for real estate on the internet. And I'm gonna choose a random market, and I suggest you follow along with your market as well that you're looking in. So I'm gonna go ahead and choose Los Angeles. I'm personally from Los Angeles, that's where I was born and raised. And although there's a lot of bad publicity about LA real estate, I would never underestimate Southern California real estate. There's been fortunes that have been made there, and I wouldn't really bet against it. So I'll leave it at that. So right now we can see that there's 9,403 homes on the market, but we're not interested in all of those, right? We're looking for the motivated sellers. So here's where the magic happens, guys. So all you have to do is go to the filter section, and from here, you're gonna scroll down to the keyword search, and I'm gonna start with the term motivated. So just type in the word motivated, and this is going to filter out 172 homes that are all motivated sellers, right? And I haven't even shown you the best part yet. You're not guessing who's motivated. You're not pulling a random list of leads from a software and assuming that there's motivation. These are all property owners who have already decided to sell and who are actively selling their properties right now. And so these agents who are listing these properties are literally telling you what's going on behind the scenes in the listing descriptions. Okay, so let's just take a look at this first example right here, okay? This has been on the market for 8 hours. This was just listed today. So this is clearly what investor dreams are made of, right? We can see that there's a closet door in the bathroom, right, randomly. And I think if we kind of zoom in here, this looks like a very old school TV just sitting on the sink. You can barely even see the floor of this property right here, okay? There's junk, pretty much from floor to ceiling, and you can't even walk in this housing unit, okay? So this was once a bathroom. As we can see here, there's mold in the walls. The shower doesn't even seem to be in service. There's that TV right on the sink. So this is clearly an investor type of opportunity. And so let's take a look at the listing description to see why was this flagged as being motivated. Okay, so this says investor special, fixer-upper, handyman special, premium San Pedro neighborhood with houses selling well into the millions. This one's listed at $799,000. This property needs major TLC and is a prime rehab opportunity or fix and flip project for the savvy investor. Contractor special, enthusiast, or handy homeowner with sweat equity and some elbow grease to spare. Great bones, but sold strictly as is with no repairs or concessions. So guys, this is exactly the type of listing we want to see. And right here, you can see it says motivated seller, bring all offers, cash buyers or hard money preferred. May qualify for conventional financing, but could be a way to snag a home way under market value as a serious investment opportunity. Blank canvas, diamond in the rough. So these are all of the keywords that we are looking for as investors whenever you're looking for a deal. So the reason this showed up and the reason all of these listings popped up in our filter was because it shows the word motivated in the description of the property listing. Okay, it literally says motivated seller. So this is not like we're guessing here. We're not pulling a list of random leads from a software that we're paying for and then hoping that these property owners, first off want to sell, but then are also motivated to sell. These sellers are actually selling their property and are motivated by the listing description clearly. So this is the exact type of listing we're looking for. And the beauty about this strategy is that you'll find all types of motivated seller situations just from this one filter. You'll find short sales, estate sales, inherited properties, absentee owners. Basically every type of motivation can be found using this filter. Instead of paying $100 to $200 a month for data and chasing down those homeowners, you can literally just do this. Because at the end of the day, submitting offers on qualified properties like this is always a higher value activity than generating leads. And remember, as a buyer, as a wholesaler, as a real estate investor, you have the leverage, right? You may be motivated to do a deal, but you're not motivated to buy any property at any price. You don't have to buy, but some of these sellers have to sell. That is where the opportunity is. Our job isn't to buy everything, but it is to make offers on deals that have potential to be profitable, just like this one. Because when you submit qualified and quality offers consistently, we know that every 5, 10, maybe even 15 offers that you submit, one of those gets accepted and turns into a profitable wholesale deal. And so look at this. This isn't just one or two, right? We have this property here on BJ, right? I won't make a joke about that, but let's just look that there's there's 172 homes right here. There's 5 pages of listings just like this that we have at our disposal, right? So let's take a look at, the second one. This was listed 21 hours ago on Rampart Boulevard. So this is perfect opportunity for development, R4 zoning, seller is motivated to sell property, right? Guys, if you're looking for motivated seller leads, this is it. Okay, there's no cost to do this and it's so simple. You should be doing this while you're watching this video, and let me know in the comments what you're seeing and how many properties you're finding and if there are any opportunities that do meet your buy box. Guys, I want you to be making money by following these instructions, all right? So this is a motivated seller. It says incompatible value home, location, living with the city view dream, highly lower than current value, roof was installed recently, earthquake foundation support is completed, solar is installed. So if we take a quick look at the inside, looks decently kept. So this may be land value is what I'm gathering. So if you have developer buyers, which there are many of those, especially in high value markets like LA, these can be amazing opportunities to add additional square footage to the property, to completely scrape and build an apartment building, which is where you have this high density zoning. You can add additional dwelling units, ADUs. That's a really big thing here in California. So these types of opportunities, the point is you have the leverage as the buyer, right? Again, like I said, the sellers need to sell, but you don't have to buy. So you can go into these deals knowing that you can make offers that cost you how much? $0, right? You can make offers without spending any money out of pocket, and some of those will get accepted and turn into deals. So taking a look at the list again, I normally see about 1 to 2% of all active listings in a market will get filtered as motivated. So it really can vary. I've bought and flipped houses in over a dozen states. And so I'm very active in a lot of different markets. And so some of the higher demand markets might be on the lower end. Some of the smaller markets certainly might be on the lower end, but you'll definitely find around 1 to 2% of all active inventory coming up with this filter. Now you might be thinking, hey, that sounds low, right? 1% of all listings, what can I do with that? But think about it. If you're pulling random motivated seller lists for, off-market properties that aren't actually for sale, what percentage of those are actually ready to sell right now, right? If you pulled a list of 10,000 off-market leads from whatever software you're using, do you think 1% of those are going to respond to you favorably and actually be willing to sell? Probably not. All right, well, this is actually where it gets really powerful. So from here, if you have specific buying criteria or your cash buyers are looking for something that's even more specific, let's go back to the filters. And this is where you can narrow it down to your exact buy box. So if you're looking for single family homes, then you can actually filter out. There's still about 50 houses that are single family that are motivated sellers, right? But I look for multifamily, townhouses and condos, especially if I'm wholesaling these properties. And so you can really narrow it down even with price point. If you're looking for properties under 1.5 million, for example, or certain bed bath count, square footage, this is where you can actually narrow it down and get even hyper specific with what deals you're actually looking at. All right, now this next step is what actually makes you money. And this is where most people mess this up, okay? This is really the best part right here. So let's go back to our listing over here on BJ. you already have the agent's contact info right here, okay? There's no chasing homeowners, there's no skip tracing involved. And let's be honest, when we skip trace random property owners' contact information, it's usually wrong more than half the time, okay? So there's no guessing here. We know who's listed the property. In this case, it's Jeffrey Browning with EXP, and we have his phone number right here on the screen. So we know exactly who to contact. We can send him a text message, call him, leave him a voicemail, get in touch with this agent, and we can literally make an offer to purchase this property today. And as a side effect from doing this consistently, guess what? Over time, you're building real relationships with active agents in your market who are listing properties that will actually meet your buy box. And a lot of times we'll get off-market deals, pocket listings, and opportunities before they hit the MLS and before other investors even see them. This is where a lot of the gold will come from actually just working this process consistently and ultimately getting those deals and moving upstream in the deal flow in your market. This is how you go from learning to actually doing deals. Because like I said before, if you're not making any offers, you're not making any deals. So guys, just taking another look at this list, we can see all of these motivated sellers that are ready to sell, right? And just a reminder, in order to get leads like this off market, you're having to spend, 50 cents to $1 per direct mail piece. And you might have to send thousands of them in order to get any kind of motivated seller on the phone who's actually willing to do a deal. The difference here is, and why this is so simple, and I really want you guys to be doing this, is that we took 60 seconds to find these deals and all the information is right here online. These sellers are ready to do a deal. They are clearly willing to take a lower price than market value for the speed and convenience of us as investors coming in and making a cash offer, right? This is where deals are made, right? We're not spending our time chasing down property owners who don't want to hear from us, wasting money on marketing, potentially not getting a deal out of it, right? It doesn't cost any money to send offers on these properties. And these are actually advertised to attract buyers like us to reach out to these agents and make a deal. Let's just take a look at this other example real quick. It's the first thing in the listing description is motivated seller. So this is their way of getting this property out there, getting in front of smart investors like yourself, and they're soliciting for offers. So if you're sleeping on these deals, you're definitely missing out. This says discover the potential, sits on a large lot, offers excellent opportunity to customize and create your own dream home and add an ADU. So again, guys, they're waiting for your offer. So go ahead, make them a cash offer, get them out of their misery. They're trying to move on from these homes. So this is where us as investors can come and save the day for these motivated sellers. So that's really how simple this strategy is. And you can literally start doing this today. And you still might be thinking, look, Ryan, there's just not that many deals in my market. Okay, there's not enough motivated sellers here. I don't live in LA. I might live in a small rural area. So just make sure you're expanding your geography enough to capture enough market area so that you can find these types of leads. And first off, look, make offers on the ones that are there, okay? I don't want to hear that there's not enough leads, but you're not pursuing the leads that are on the market right now. Because again, how much does it cost you to actually pursue these properties and make an offer? Zero. Okay, it doesn't cost you anything to make an offer. So you might as well go after the leads that are right on the market waiting for your offer. And here's exactly what I do in these situations. I find the listing agent, which is right on the listing, and then I call that listing agent, okay? And if you want the exact script that my team and I use when we talk to agents, I'll link our discovery call script in the description below. So you can actually take action on any of these today and know exactly what to say when you're calling these agents. But if you're still thinking, look, there's still not enough opportunities here, just understand this. This is only one way to find deals, okay? The word motivated is only one of the keywords that we use. We've built out a full list of proven keywords and strategies that we've refined over the past 10 years to consistently find deals directly from the MLS. And this is the same approach that I've personally used to build a rental portfolio that's now worth over 8 figures and flip dozens of houses all over the country. So if you want that full system, including our keyword list, along with 8 other strategies like our day zero method, I'll link to this in the description below, or you can go to realestateskills.com/find to get your free copy of this resource. And if you want to see me break down how to find wholesale deals on Zillow, watch this video right here. I'll see you in the next one.